It's a story that most of us are familiar with. It's the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. I don't have time to tell you the whole story, so if you aren't familiar with it, I'd encourage you to go back and read it at a later time. This is a story that has been absolutely abused by churches and Christians, and it's been used to hurt anyone who experiences same-sex attraction. Sodom and Gomorrah were destroyed by God. That's true. The way that the story has been taught by many people is that God destroyed these cities because of homosexual acts that were done by the citizens who lived there. Now, there's a problem with teaching the story that way. Years later, after these two cities are destroyed, God has a prophet named Ezekiel. And in his book, called Ezekiel, chapter 16, he says that these two communities were demolished by God, not because of their rampant homosexuality, as it's often portrayed, but because of their inhospitality. It's a weird story. It's a crazy, strange story. But according to the prophet of God, the issue which these communities had was inhospitality, which means, and I want you to hear this, I really want you to hear this because it's going to be highly offensive to some of you. It means that Christians who have used this story against the gay and lesbian community are actually the ones committing the sin of Sodom. Christians who use this story to push gay and lesbian people away are the ones committing the most sinful part of this story. Is that interesting? Sometimes we've used God's words to wound people while being guilty of the very thing that we've tried to weaponize. It's embarrassing to me. It's unacceptable, and it's wrong. And if you're part of that gay and lesbian community, or if you know people who've been hurt by churches and Christians who've used this story against the homosexual community, I hope that you can hear me confess that the church has not always been innocent in this. And I can't speak for everyone, but I can speak for myself, and I can tell you that I'm sorry. I'm sorry that the Word of God has been weaponized. And Christians, we need to do better.